Hey friends, and welcome to our pre-full moon garden visualization in Sagittarius. Before we start, friends, let's quickly refresh our memory about the idea behind the garden. DK's advice to CDP, one of his disciples, was that he encouraged her to create a garden of beauty, to perfect it and to use it. He said he also taught her how to dedicate it and to turn it into a shrine of consecration and connect it in her mind with the thought of service. And that which is thus created and used exists. And he reassured her that on the inner planes, her garden is of service to his group of disciples and to others in larger numbers than she thought. It is a place of gathering for many and a place of refuge for a few. So he asked her to enter her tower and climb to the summit and then release the light which is in her. And this will be to the garden of her soul what the sun is to the gardens of the world. Then he asked her to watch the rays of light pouring out over the garden, awakening it to color and beauty, arousing it to movement and life, and calling forth the song of the birds and the hum of the bees, and evoking it to a responsive loveliness. And he promised her, "There I may meet you when the clouds of glamour roll away. Ponder on the symbolism hidden in this garden," he told her, "and work steadily from this center of love and light." So friends, this is exactly what we are doing. We are following DK's advice to CDP. So therefore, let's continue to build our healing garden as a group at some point within the 12 hours prior to each full moon, meeting DK there and turning our garden into a shrine of consecration, and intending to offer our garden as a chalice for the love of hierarchy to be poured in selfless service to humanity. So before entering our garden, let us align first. So raise your consciousness into the head, as high in the head as you can. Then carry the consciousness upward through your astral body, and your mental body, then to the soul, by visualizing a lotus fully open and scintillating with light as a symbol of your soul body. And now place yourself right in the center of your lotus, recognizing that you, the personality, and you, the soul, are one in consciousness. And from that point, definitely and consciously Assume the attitude of the observer as the soul, objective and detached. Observe your personality below and visualize your etheric body and see energy flowing freely up and down your etheric spine. And now consciously throw soul energy down into the center at the base of the spine. And you may use indigo blue light if you don't know the color of your soul ray. And now, in your creative imagination, raise that light slowly via the 5 centers up the etheric spine, then to the ajna, then to the crown, and up to the soul body. And say the soul mantra with conviction, knowing who you really are. I am the soul. I am light divine. I am will. I am love. I am fixed design. And now let us sound one Om as if you were the soul. You were the initiate. Now let's enter our garden. At the entrance, we stroll through arches of climbing roses, clusters of flowers in abundance overhead, and choose the colors that you like. And these, the roses, are the favorite flower of Master DK, of Master KH. And let the roses gently caress your face as you walk down, and breathe in the delicate aroma of the cascading colorful roses percolating through the air. Small, lovingly trimmed emerald green bushes line the stony pathway. And as you walk down, hear the crunch of the little stones under your steps. Along an embankment at the end of the archway, there are rows and rows of flowers, flowers of different hues and harmonizing tones of red and pink and yellow and white, all sorts of colors. And as we create these rows, we include our favorite flowers. The blooms shed fresh petals on the path, creating a soft carpet for us to walk on, releasing their individual fragrances as we step on them. On the opposite side of the embankment, we see right in the middle of our space of harmony a lighthouse, standing tall and strong, shining beams of light in all directions as a symbol of our united group soul. And as we assemble there quietly, we hear a choir of birds fill the space with their clear and melodious notes, welcoming us to this unique space. A chorus of angelic voices sing a soft tune, accompanied by the sound of harps and devas gently strumming the chords. Sitting still around the lighthouse, we feel the gentle warmth of the rays of the sun. Feel it on your face, on your chest and on your back, warming you right to the core. And in the background, the breeze softly swishing through the tall eucalyptus trees chants a melodic lullaby. And it's very fitting that eucalyptus trees be in our garden, as Dike tells us that they are the most advanced species in the vegetable kingdom, as they have obviously a lot of healing properties. These majestic trees cast their protective shadows on the grass as sunlight peeps through this peaceful garden. Around the lighthouse, we see a large, quiet pool of crystal clear waters. Flowing from the pool, we see rivulets as we hear the gentle trickle of water. We also see 3 wider streams of golden water flowing steadily. Across them are curved wooden bridges. In one area of the pool float lotuses of all colors in all stages of bloom. Some are in full bloom, revealing their gorgeous jewel, while others are just budding and barely showing their true color, all reflecting their light in the healing waters. Just beyond the pool, a hidden path leads to a cozy and serene corner. A few chairs or a bench and a small fountain containing supercharged, vitalizing water, perfumed by a single floating lotus, create just the perfect spot for an informal sharing of one's difficulties or words of wisdom. Inhale the perfume of the flowers, imbuing and permeating the air. Everything in this garden quivers with livingness. And as we pause for a minute, bring in people that you know need healing. Bring them in this corner of our garden. In the distance, we hear the soothing sound of water, and we follow that sound, and we come to a tranquil pool where cascading water gently hugs rocks as it joyfully spills in the blue pool below, while bubbles of spray ricochet spiritedly in the air. Lush ferns alongside the rocks, draping in the water, enhance the serenity of the place, while the fiery brilliance of the orange and red leaves of surrounding trees brings warmth and invigorating energy to the area. In our mind's eye, we follow a pathway which leads us to flower beds. They are a riot of spring color, reds and creams and yellows and pinks of such vibrancy, winding their way like a gentle living stream among the trees. A row of violet flowers on either side of the meandering bed happily follows the path of the flowers as they release their subtle perfume. Butterflies flutter through the air with their iridescent wings, attracted by the silent serenade of the blooms. They are like the flowers of the air. Their delicate and fragile wings are like floating petals, catching the light and twinkling like diamonds in the air. Buzzing bees surf the open spaces from flower to flower, seeking pollen, which looks like scintillating, bright golden pixie dust. Lush green grass lines a gentle stream like a soft, velvety carpet. Feel the coolness of the grass. The air is full of the sweet fragrance of the flowers, which are in full bloom, adorning the fringes of the streams in this tranquil garden, quivering with life. Now, this garden that we've just created is our garden, our group garden. But let's take a moment to add a little corner which has our individual touch. So add the colors, the unique features and flora of your own country. that you'd like to blossom in this serene space. Let's invite also the presence and the cooperation of the healing devas working under the Christ and Master DK. Visualize them in our garden, enlivening it with their magnetism. And now sitting quiescent around our lighthouse, our hearts beating as one. Let's link up with each other as we say the healer's mantra aloud together. With purity of motive, inspired by a loving heart, we offer ourselves for this work of healing. This offer we make as a group and to the ones we seek to heal. So with our outer eyes closed, we open our inner eyes, endeavoring to hold our mind unwaveringly in the group light. We know that as promised, Master DK too stands steady, pouring out upon us his love and strength, and endeavoring to lift us up into a higher state of consciousness. We're now receptive to Master DK's radiant energy. The light of the lighthouse begins to shine brighter and brighter as it intensifies gradually. Soon, this light begins to take shape and a definite figure appears. And in our imagination, it is that of Master DK. We see him very clearly. We see him together. And from the lighthouse, visualize calm waves of golden light poured by DK, streaming through a harmonious group, irradiating the garden around us, imbuing it with aspiration and ardent, one-pointed desire to serve for the good of the whole. See and feel the intuitive arrow of light of Sagittarius pierce the space and our group heart. Sagittarius is the sign of the one-pointed disciple. The life of fluid response to matter becomes that of the focused response to spirit and preparation for initiation in Capricorn. The arrow of the mind is projected unerringly towards the goal. The unfolding of human consciousness let loose in Sagittarius is intuition, governing aspiration, soul consciousness in early stages. So the key word is I vision. Amamanas, or desire mind, controls and influences the life. In the early stages of unfoldment, its focus is upon desire and the satisfaction of that desire. In the later stage of purely personality development, the focus is upon the control of desire by the mind, the intelligent use of all powers to bring about adequate satisfaction of desire or ambition to achieve some goal or attain some objective. But on the reversed wheel, the goal is the expression of love wisdom, and this is ever selflessly developed and always consecrated to the good of the whole and not to the satisfaction of the individual. Sagittarius gradually piercing the heart with his arrows, and then upon the flight of the arrow, the man reaches Capricorn. Let's ponder on an ancient catechism which all disciples have to master. Where is the animal Olanu, and where is the man? Fused into one, O Master of my life. The two are one, but both have disappeared, and naught remains but the deep fire of my desire. Where is the horse? The white horse of the soul. Where is the rider of that horse, Olanu? Gone towards the gate, O Master of my life. But something speeds ahead between the pillars of an open door. Something that I myself have loosed. And what remains to thee? O wise Lanu. Now that the horses of two kinds have left thee, and the rider, unattached, stands free, now what remains? Naught but my bow and arrow, O master of my life. But these suffice, and when the right time comes, I, the Lanu, will follow fast upon the shaft I sent. The horses I will leave upon this side of the door. For them I have no further need. I enter free, regain the arrow which I sent, and speed upon my way, passing from door to door, and each time the arrow speeds ahead. Let's ponder for a few minutes on this beautiful catechism, which depicts the one-pointed disciple. The Catechism summarizes the 5 keynotes of Sagittarius. The first one, attached or fused duality, as symbolized by the centaur. Then attached duality, the archer. And freedom or one-pointedness, symbolized by the bow and arrow. And the second keynote is human ambition leading eventually to spiritual aspiration. And the third, a clear shaft of light, which is the intuitive and focused attitude of the pledged disciple. Fourth, the returning arrow of the intuition. For it is the shaft of the arrow of aspiration which returns to the sender as the arrow of the intuition. And the last keynote, idealism, which is the power to see the vision and to direct one's course towards it. This is the work of Mars, the expression of the 6th ray. In Sagittarius, the disciple achieves the determination, powered by Mars, to direct his steps in another way of life, and with ardor firm to mount another cross, as the old commentary puts it. And one of the major underlying themes of Sagittarius is direction. The archer is guiding his horse towards some one specific objective. He is sending or directing his arrow towards a desired point. He is aiming at some specific goal. And this sense of direction of guidance is characteristic of the enlightened man, of the disciple, of the aspirant. When this faculty of sensitive direction is rightly developed, it becomes in the early stages an effort to identify all soul and personality activity with God's plan. And this is, in the last analysis, the ordered direction of God's thought. There is no true direction apart from thought. And DK tells us, I would have you remember that thought is power. And this is a statement upon which all disciples should ponder, for they can achieve no real comprehension of the direction of God's plan unless they work with a phase in their own life which is subject to their own mental direction. Thought is power. Let this idea be etched in our mind so that we can use power to direct our lives. Sagittarius marks another point of balance which follows after that testing that is in Scorpio. For the archer has to acquire and hold a steady eye, hand, and stance prior to firing the arrow, which, when rightly directed and correctly followed, will carry him through the portal of initiation. Let's pause here. Our bodies still, united in heart and mind, and our inner eyes fixed on the goal, the expression of love wisdom. And like the archer, let's stand within, still, poised and focused, with a steady eye and hand, while directing the thought, I see the goal. I reach that goal. And then I see another. Let's fire our arrow of love and light into our garden, irradiating it with Jupiter's second ray energy of love, animated with a consecrated thought of service. And let's sound an Om as we let loose that arrow of love and wisdom. In Sagittarius, the intellect developed, used and finally illumined, becomes sensitive to a still higher type of mental experience, intuitive perception. There comes flashes of light upon problems. A distant yet possible vision of attainment is seen. The man begins to climb out of the depths to which he has descended in Scorpio and sees ahead of him the mountain in Capricorn, which he knows he must eventually climb. He walks no longer in the dark, for he sees what he has to do. He flies from point to point, searching for the arrows which he has discharged. He has, figuratively speaking, to dismount constantly from his white horse, the developed and purified personality, and find where the arrows of intuitional aspiration will take him. He travels upon the wings of the soul and becomes in his own personality himself the winged god, Mercury, who governs Gemini, the polar opposite of Sagittarius. This he does until he has established a balanced relationship between personality and the soul, and can function as either at any desired moment with equal facility. This takes place upon the path of discipleship and is called the experience of the disciple upon the plains of earth. For the path between the pairs of opposite runs straight and level, leaving the depths of personality experience and the heights of soul experience at this point of development on either side. Second-ray influences and potencies are abidingly present and pour into our planetary sphere and life via the Sun and Jupiter. These sweep the forces of Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aquarius, and Virgo into and through our entire planet and all its kingdoms in nature. Our planetary Logos, as Sagittarius soul ruler, provides a sphere of experience to the sons of mind, the divine Manasatuputras, the Agnishvatas, who are ourselves, to live within his body, to develop the intellect, to control desire, and to transform it into intuitive perception, thus achieving their goal through the light of the mind and through the method of conflict. A very important statement here regarding Earth as the sole ruler of Sagittarius, and a very important role that he plays then in the solar system. So then let's visualize our lighthouse, symbol of our united soul group, strong and detached in the middle of our garden. As we link with Master DK at the summit, glowing as a focal point of harmony, directing the arrow of the light of Buddhi in the heart of every blade of grass, every flower, every lotus, every tree, and every molecule of water and air of our garden. And now that we have imbued our garden with the Sagittarian qualities of one-pointedness, mental power, intuitive perception, and vision of a higher goal under the wise direction of Master DK, let's distribute as the one soul these energies freely and selflessly to humanity. By visualizing the flow of unconditional love or the will to good emanating from the triangle, the avatar of synthesis, the spirit of peace, and the Lord Buddha, powering the Christ right at the center of their triangle. And now let's superimpose this radiating triangle on another triangle consisting of the Christ, Master DK, and our soul group. And now let's bring this blended and radiating triangle right down onto the etheric plane by superimposing the blended triangle on our group chakric triangle, vitalizing it. And this triangle consists of our group crown chakra, our group ajna, and our group alta major. And now, directing the dispelling radiance of the will to good by our group ajna, right eye, left eye. Let's place this blended and radiating triangle, impressing it upon the three planetary centers, London, Geneva, and New York. and let us sound a clear and resounding Om together, visualizing our arrow of love carried on the wings of our Om, pierce the hearts of our fellow men with love, with goodwill, right human relations. And now let us say the healer's mantra, believing in the results, as we say it slowly and deliberately, putting the whole weight of our soul behind it. May the love of the one soul focused in this group radiate upon you, our fellow men, and permeate every part of your body, healing, soothing, strengthening, and dissipating all that hinders service and good health. And may they and may they travel upon the wings of the soul and become in their own personalities the winged god, Mercury. So now let's picture a great pine tree in our garden. Let's gather around the Christ, Master DK, and the healing ashram excuse me, under this pine tree, saying the great invocations together. And we'll intone the first and second invocations as a group soul, saying them with intensity of feeling, in unison with hierarchy on the inner planes, as we grasp their significance and believe that they embody the will of the planetary logos. Let the forces of light bring illumination to mankind. Let the spirit of peace be spread abroad. May men of goodwill everywhere meet in a spirit of cooperation. May forgiveness on the part of all men be the keynote at this time. Let power attend the efforts of the great ones, and so let it be, and help us to do our part. Let the Lords of Liberation issue forth. Let them bring succor to the sons of men. Let the rider from the secret place come forth, and coming save. Come forth, O Mighty One. Let the souls of men awaken to the light, and may they stand with massed intent. Let the fiat of the Lord go forth. The end of woe has come. Come forth, O Mighty One. The hour of service of the saving force has now arrived. Let it be spread abroad, O Mighty One. Let light and love and power and death fulfill the purpose of the coming one. The will to save is here. The love to carry forth the work is widely spread abroad. The active aid of all who know the truth is also here. Come forth, O Mighty One, and blend these three. Construct a great defending wall. The rule of evil now must end. And let's conclude with the third invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth, and visualize a shaft of light coming down on earth as we sound the blue Om. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May Christ return to earth. And visualize a stream of light, of love rather, carried on our own. Resonate on earth loud and clear. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve, and see a stream of golden light, of will to good, coming down on earth. From the center, which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. And now raise your clasp hands above the head and say, and so let it be, and help us to do our part. Then bring the energies down to your forehead and let them rest on your heart to radiate out into your environment during the rest of the day and the evening. And may the blessing of the Christ and of hierarchy rest upon all true servers, and may they stand tranquil in the midst of strife. And may the light of the garden of our souls be on the inner plane what the sun is to the gardens of the world. A place of illumined vision, aspiration, and one-pointedness, thus bringing healing and wholeness to many. Thank you, friends, for joining us. Before we leave, I'd like to let you know that our Christmas service, where we have all of our groups together under one virtual roof, we come together to celebrate the Christ, and this is the last Christmas before the conclave. So let's give our Christ our support, our love, and let's radiate his love to the rest of humanity, so that when he returns, when he announces next year at the conclave of 2025, the date and how he will return, he will find fertile soil as immense hearts and minds, so that his return is a complete success as far as the plan of our Logos is concerned, which is the establishment of the fifth kingdom of souls on earth. So let's all come together and celebrate the Christ on Sunday, the 22nd of December at 11:30 a.m. GMT. And if you want to know your local time, please go and consult the calendar on our website. Thank you, friends, for your commitment, your dedication, and your presence today. And we'll see you next week.